It doesn't feel right.
That's not how it works. It's not how math works. Like, anyways. Save it. Quick knock on the visitor. Focus back up. Who's the other player here? Browner's actually engaged on him. He's very, very low HP. He's sneaking away. There we go. It's Joel. Browner found himself some space. Yes, the mini's thrown too. But Joel has basically nothing to farm up inside, so not going to be able to hold on as Save It starts to get mats. There's also Browner too, although he comes from the sneak attack. It might change things up very quickly. Has to win the fight up on Save It, but Browner will get back up now as well. Low HP now for Save It. Can Joel turn this around? Can he do it? He drops in the box. Yes, so far so good, but Browner will be in the same box as he goes for the finish instead of the shot on the Browner.
I've seen this track before, man, from CRR and Wolfie's album. It's called Grifo Mode. Like, I just don't feel like this remix or iteration has like the proper 808s, the proper melody or beat at all. Like, look at this. I mean, he's in the box. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
never mind. Track. Wait, hold up. Might be kind of a banger. He doesn't even let him shake him down.
He didn't even get the siphon from it too, CR. Like, it's like, I need it, please. And also, Futric is nowhere to be found right now. There he goes, finally on the backside of this wall. 9 builds for CRR. Wolfie's probably low as well in terms of builds. Another fight breaking out too. Scram against Shaco and Gray. This fight has happened previously. And here we go, like they said, off spawn, they won't lose if somebody contests them. And that was quick, perfect. Back to the other fight. This fight's still ongoing. The issue that Wolfies has always had is in these extended fights, he never finds the time for himself to farm. Meanwhile, CRR is doing just that, so hopefully that will fix it. He gets the piece control on Putrick, but the back wall's not theirs. CRR goes down, Wolfies has to clutch, and he does. Thankfully, finally, 10 points on the board. And surviving off spawn, Wolfies and CRR. I can't believe there's a team based up already on top of the Stark Industries Hill. Maybe that's to guard the Vault. In any case, this fight breaking out. Yes, they're in the same box. Thomas HD is down. It's all up to Tayson right now. Against 2, they've gotten the finish as well. A big tag on Araxo. Tayson doesn't trade too hard. They do get him edited down though. And he baits him into both of them. Shotguns out. Well played.
I was surprised Politicide didn't drop down. Felt like after they saw that knock, it should have been easy going to get even more so into that fight. Dennis Reason and Omega and Lucia. We'll see what happens. Ooh, I mean, we're gonna see some one pumps fast though. Omega down. Now a 2v1 against a duo that's so good. I'm waiting for you first, but Reason might have just waited too long before pre-fire. And Janus does not have that much HP. He's up against a purple pump, and he gets wiped out up in the skies.
Once again, a push.
Crashpad does not find a single player at all. Cavado Letwick move over slightly towards zone.
Time to get out of here. Somehow. Find a car or something. Right now, Letwick looks like he's about to go down. Maybe a medkit being popped. That's why he's standing still. Cavado gets beamed though. And now they're back on the offensive. Letwick just barely gets the medkit off, and he's now back in fighting condition. He's now back into it. Oh, through the window though. They got him inside the box. Another crash pad will try to go in. Letwick, Cavado. Yes, the pinch. No, O'Reilly does go down. They do trade, but it does not matter. Once again, they win Doom's Domain. Once again, against the team that switches their spot. You saw that first engagement. The very first one that we watched was actually X-Squeeze and Hen against Cavado and Letwick.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always one spot that's just...
Even if it's not like a drop, snipers are there too. And that's the thing on EU, I feel like we see every game. From a different duo though, usually it's Thomas HD landing some crazy long range shots. And actually finding Steelix, so these guys are still fighting. That's some good surge tags there. Wolfies has moved on. I think he might have picked up Lucia as well from Logjam. But they're at the gas station. They're trying to fuel up here. I'm not sure if CRR is still alive. He is. He's on the side there. Yeah. That sniper has a gold pump. At the same time, this looks really good as a loadout. I don't think these guys want to fight completely. They don't want to go to a 2v2 that goes all the way towards the end. They want to base up and possibly look for tags. They do fight, though. Gonna have a huge advantage.
CRR is not convinced, as Wolfies is. He hasn't joined up, gotten on the walls, anything like that. He's actually kept his distance for quite some space, and now Wolfies is actually backing off. Bad Sniper with just a little blue tag will end up taking out Wolfies. And that's the difference, right? CRR is trying to say, let's disengage. Let's play this a little more smart. Instead, he's not able to control Wolfies, and that cost them the game. Once again, CRR is out of here, back to the place that they started at Slurpy Swamps.
It's not all bad, though. If there were, like, 20 games to play, and Wolfies and CRR got 15 points every game, they could be top 10.
Against Cavado and Letwick means that they will be a little bit more reserved in this game. They're not going to be W King as much because they just don't necessarily have the tools to do it, but maybe that's also an argument for them to continue playing aggressively. They're definitely going to need it now going into the fourth circle because it's so far away, and we know there's another one. Yes, Noah Riley does pick up one. Here's Cammy, here's Paco. They've made it up on the north side of the fourth zone, potentially to catch fifth. Benji and Savage are right there with them.
Seti and Teak are there too. These guys have one of the best bases on this map. Being towards that high ground is going to be so important when there's so many hills in play. We saw it in that last game when everything went off of Stark Industries. Being high and up on and then being patient after the fact is what wins you these games once the zone starts to move. Tapix also comes through, so all these teams that know where to be positionally are choosing the exact same base in the same spot. This is the place to be. I think Ref's Guard might move here too with Scram in just a second.
Those who are in zone might not opt for better positioning just to not move. Trying to see if Hen and them did get in. It looks like they did on that west side. Ref's Guard's down. Oh, actually, two X-Sweeze. So they're involved in a fight on the side of zone. Cammy might actually start spraying. Yes, he actually recognized it. Scram goes down. Noah Riley's still fighting on the edge of zone too. He picks up another one. I do not know how he's consistently finding these, especially in this zone. In this zone, it would have been the worst time for them to implement that strat of fighting on the edge of zone where they expect not too many people to look at them, where they can break line of sights. This zone was not that, but it's still working somehow.
And right now, the only way these two duels can communicate, Cammy and Paco, Vidil and Noah Riley, is with eliminations. And I think it looks like Vidil and Noah Riley are ahead now, in first place going into this endgame, because they have been shouting more. They have more elims. And both teams can see that on that elim feed too. A huge slew of eliminations coming in as Storm Surge is going to be a factor and tick down. One more person needs to go through. These guys are looking fine. What will Cammy and Paco do? Playing low ground here is going to be very, very difficult.
But there's other threats too. We've talked about their style and what makes them so good at low ground. The way that they stick close together. Opposite of what you might expect in trios. They're going to go for a little bit of high ground here right now. At least, yes, they found the bouncer. Yes, this is really nice. They're going to be able to either crash pad modify or shockwave modify and get all the way to zone. Potentially even up on a height, but no, it's another mid-ground layer once again.
And this is good. Even Benji and Savage, the guys that we saw committing to low ground on a Stark Industry circle that they knew was going to go through and jump off the map, they've gone towards ultimate height as well. No one wants to touch the floor when there's so many hills and the dam in the lake coming up too.
And also notice how Cammy protects his floor too. A third layer of protection, a stair down below, because of how quickly a duo can knock down floor and a cone. And if you're not paying attention, if you're just doing something else, firing out of your box for just a brief instant, that's you guys both falling into another person's box and ended up getting knocked out.
We have a kind of a little bit of an election here for who wants to be president of height so far. Some candidates, we have Teak and Seti up top. I just saw Nate and Andalex, winners from before. They were at that spot in the leaderboard in FNCS duos. Also trying to go for height. Rifle and Slicks are there again. They got taken over, and Benji and Savage are also close by.
Everybody also down in the bottom left of the screen are down below the dam of Misty Meadows. That's Skite, that's Falconly, that's Saven, that's Browner, that's potentially Noah Riley and Vidil. Robabs and Snazy, yes, a couple shockwaves with a bouncer modifier will get you up, but if you don't have that, you have to build up. And that's so tough, and it's going even further up the hill as well. Lincoln 7 Tour trying to climb their way through. It's against Nate and Handalex. Savage and Benji still alive in this one. This could be a bouncer modified shockwave as well. Up to height. Seti's there. So we know game 2 winners right now maintaining heights. Link has just wiped Nate and Handalex. We moved away from him for an instant, and he wipes out the champs, like you mentioned.
And on the mid ground, things are changing too. Hen and X Squeeze actually taking a lot of damage and cannot dish any back as they have to move. Noah Riley is up, but I don't see Vidil anywhere at all. He's been getting solo elims, I think, this entire time, and he's still on the backside of zone trying to move in. I think X Squeeze just went down. Yeah, he goes down, so now it's all up to Hen to do what he needs to do. Benji and Savage moving in the same lane as other individuals, other duos in their Tart 4ZR. At a sliver of HP, he's getting focused. He gets tagged down by Benji trying to get the safety.
Benji and Savage didn't have the best game one, but did respond with a great game number two. Now in a box again, we saw this. We saw this last game. Benji escapes, just mere instance. This time he gets away again. Savage not too far away. Is he gonna be able to regroup? Yes, they're right together. Skype gets one. They got over the dam. 7th zone though, pulling up the mountain, potentially into that central area with the Sentinels. That block your path.
They were on flight before in the sky, but now they're back at home all the way down on low ground. Savage leading the charge, a switch up from how things were going last game. 2 elims for these guys so far, 15 teams left. Benji on the backside trying to drop people down. There is Cammy taken down. The first place duo is split in half.
Finally, Cammy and Paco are split for long enough for Benji to find the hole, and Paco goes down too. He tries to get revenge, but that's not enough. So Benji and Savage have claimed the mid-ground layer, low ground as well. This time moving forward, they've got 4 elims. Now it's time for them to potentially rise up into contention with Seti, with Teak, with Noah Riley, with Badil. Yes, another one. It's Kinzel. Kinzel goes down, and now Benji and Savage still maintain now in the top 10. That's better than their game one and already better in terms of eliminations. They're improving game after game. This is going to be another one. Yes, they're going to fall onto 7 Tor, onto Wakey, but he's got a nice little peanut butter peak. Savage will take him out, and another one for Benji. 70 elims. The shockwave forward away. He pulls him off. Seti goes out of high ground, but it's not enough. Benji almost hit one of the most ridiculous flicks off a height to potentially secure it. He gets back up though. Teak now also. Chug Splash is available. 3 teams left. 1 full duo.
Everything's slightly more quiet too. Everyone has their own space. It seems like Benji split apart the entire server, not only with the plays, but all that low ground commotion. Now it's just beams. Dual Media taking a shot from Snazy box to box. He gets taken out. Snazy versus Seti and Teak, and it looks like these guys will be your back-to-back game winners here with just one more pump. Teak wraps it up, but there were so many other highlights. I'm wondering how this leaderboard will look.
And end up taking their 2nd game in a row. And because of that, that's why they're up at the top right now and by quite a margin. At least the biggest we've seen so far. And Vidil, Noah Riley fall. Just slightly, though, they continue their W key presence.
That's right. A 20-point difference now separates first from second place. Teak and Seti performing incredibly well with 2 victory royales